Hey, thanks again for watching, y'all. We really appreciate it. On our kit, not a kit install, sometimes you just need to take components. Back in the day, we'd go to the junkyard and get these components. Now there's a lot available. But I also noticed a trend in the last few years when I'm at shows and stuff. There's a lot of things that are just like, I got to get a kit, I got to get a kit, I got a kit. But you know, a little bit of imagination, some know-how, your fingers, you can make a little bit, do what you need to do, save yourself some money, and really tailor something that just fits your needs and does a great job for your project. And hopefully it'll help somebody out there. If it doesn't, it's the way we do it. We appreciate all the fun we're having, and we hope you guys are having fun on your rides. All right, one of the things I like to try and do after putting in, I'd hate to think of how many over the years in street rods and customs and pickup trucks and things, but there's a lot of different reasons for everything. One of the things I like about this particular kit is, I'll show you all the number here if that helps, in case somebody wants to look into it, but Speedway sells these. What I like about this particular kit, it uses this little sandwich method where you can actually just get the glass, they're gluing a bunch of hard perimeters and things that are metal to the glass. This is this little clevis here bolts together and it just sandwiches it in a gasket. So just cut your glass. It's got these offset mounts, 3 points, keeps it from articulating. Also look for anything that's got kind of a double beam, I-beam. There's a lot out there that are separated, and as they're separated they tend to wiggle, walk, or twist. And those are somewhat cheaper units, so you just got to budget as you go. My favorite thing is the fact that it has a separate located motor. Now a lot of guys go back and forth with the ones that the motor's mounted solid at the bottom. And you know, in retrospect, it's less to deal with. Like, we have to make a whole another bracket for this, and as we make these brackets and get all this in, less the kit stuff, but more made to whatever we're putting it into. So it's a tailored application, if you will. In that, as we go, my biggest thing I've found over the years is these motors that are mounted on the bottom of these things, they tend to get damp or wet as all doors drain and water runs downhill. These guys that stay wet or stay damp, or, you know, most of the time I've ever run into problems with them, it's been because of that one situation. This stays hidden up between or by hinges, out of the way of the guidelines of the actual window itself. For me, they just last longer, and they always stay nice and dry. Even the wiring's up high. I never have any problems, even in the hard rains or a hard car wash. So really helpful. The other thing I like about this particular kit is not only is it real universal, but it comes with a harness, hardware, rocker switches, even a little console, even little patterns, lots of hardware to mount it, offset, spacers. I mean, they really give you a bag of goodies to make all this work for you on the KIT side. I like to old school, make things as they go, and this video is just going to show you some of that. Just want to find center just from your window tracks. And in this case, this window's a long rectangle, basically square. So middle's pretty good. These window mechanisms, they're pretty forgiving. You can be either way. One of the tricks I like to use on like a window that's got a lot of hard angle or strange shape to it, or maybe some heavy bottom, but you can just kind of find the balance point in the glass and let that help you when you track it in, even with a pattern, help you make the mark toward center. I've actually had some glasses that are be an inch or so off, but generally middle works, especially on this older stuff. You saw we got our bracket. We already know our height here to here. We'll roughly find center. got a square edge over here on the end of this door, so that's going to be our workaway point. You can already see that we'll be moving this somewhere over here in the middle. One of the things I like to do is get pretty close to center, or the same point off the end of the door here where it's square, because we know this guide will be square and it'll go up evenly. That guide will be square related to these guides. So this one's pretty easy to do. The only other thing I would suggest is we've got this angle here. I like to use a angle finder. We'll run several different angles. This one works out to be about 15 degrees. So we know when we set up this bottom brace and this bottom bracket, or tie, somewhere in there will be about 15 degrees. That way our windows go up and down at the same angle. Track's really simple, lots of adjustment. Winner, winner. Only reason I showed making these brackets, two at a time, the old sister method. After making our pattern, we got something to weld to, as we've been doing. And then when you come down here, because we doubled up everything, we'll mount the other side faster and easier. Quick recap. We've got this one installed. Pretty happy with the way it came out. It's stability, really good and strong. Y'all will probably notice right off the bat, I tend to cut off these entire door skins out. I know I'm going to make a pattern, bead rolling, some highs, lows for future armrests, door handle mechanism, things of that nature will be part of that skin. We found center. We made our bracket, plug welded everything in, super strong. And we've got all of our cleanup work done. I made a bar stock in here. I ran the 1/2 inch because we've got this little 1/2 inch cap. Also made that little extra bracket. It's a little more work, but if you notice, the motor is about, 8-10 inches off the bottom. It's also out of the way of the guide. The actual channel will run in here for the glass. So we've got plenty of room. Everything has its area and nothing's going to get in the way of anything. So I just try to think ahead a little bit. The other thing is angle. We're running about 15 degrees, 15.5 degrees. This channel here was 15.5 degrees. This one was about the same. I know those things are within a tenth, but this came out to about 15.4, so we should be pretty good. You got some slack here, as you can tell. This old wobble stock, once it gets going, the up and down, the guide's really great. We've already hot wired, checked it for our top and our bottom, and as you can see, when you look down through the channel here, once we do this little bit of metal relaxing, we'll be able to line up the center of our glass pretty good. I ran some temporary channels here that came down and gave us a guideline. It's just basically some stock that gave us a straight line down here, and I was able to calculate about where this glass will be sitting in. The other part is if we're off just a little bit, we can tailor these back with the spacers that was given us. And if you need a 1/4 inch increment back, you just simply put your 1/4 inch spacers in and slide it back. So pretty simple. Part kit, part not kit, but clean outcome, rock solid. We've doubled up all of our brackets and braces, so the other side will be simple, goes together quick, and bada bing, bada bang, we got power windows. Thanks.